the return of Race Across the World. Series 1 was a bit of a slow burn hit that I watched and my family really got into, and then I started to notice rumblings of other people I look at online and follow online saying they're really enjoying it, and by the end it had really become a proper ratings hit, which is rare for two reasons. It's on at 8 p.m. and it's on BBC Two, and those two things don't often garner big ratings. But in a lot of ways, the idea of this is quite old-fashioned, but in another way, it's a thing all of its own and feels quite contemporary. This is a race across the world, teams of two people, in this case, a mother and a son, a brother and a sister, a couple who have just not long been together, and a couple who have been married 10 years. They have to get from Mexico City to, and I'm trying to think how John Hannah said it, Ushuaia, I believe, in Argentina, and they have to get there without using mobile phones, without using any kind of modern technology. They are given the equivalent in cash to the price of the airfare from Mexico to the Argentinian final stop. They have to work, they have to reach certain checkpoints and fill in a book to find out whether they've arrived first, second, third, and things. One of the reasons I always praise the Break Off is because they were so good at casting lovely people, and even if you didn't connect or gel with some of the people in this first episode, then by the end of series 1, everyone that I was less keen on, I was really attached to by the end. It's really exciting, it's really stressful, I really love it, and it's going to be something that I look forward to every Sunday. Matt didn't see any of series 1 because we didn't actually review it, to be fair, but when I knew this was coming back, I said, could you please watch it? And so I'm intrigued to know how you got on with the first episode of Race Across the World.
Yeah, it's all right. I wanted to like it more because I know how passionate you are about it, and maybe it was too much pressure. And I feel like, and I know I saw you on Twitter last night, arguing with someone who said it was like The Amazing Race, which I know you said you'd never seen an episode
no,
of.
I looked up The Amazing Race, and that's more sort of staged, and they've
got
all the
it is. I used to watch it. Not religiously, but I remember watching a few episodes when I think it probably aired on like Living TV or something over here on.
And they've
back
got
in the day.
access to modern technology there, and there's a lot of, these American ones have a lot of dramatic music following. This is kind of a clever hybrid because it's sort of it appeals to BBC Two folk because it's part travelogue and you see parts of the world you'd never see.
That didn't sort of the travelogues bits of it, I think maybe slowed it down a little bit for me. I liked the elements where you got to know the people and their relationships and things like that. Like you said, there was the uncle and nephew. He'd been excommunicated from the family. I think they were like a Muslim family, weren't they? There was the brother and sister who had drifted apart over several years. There was a couple who weren't living together, met over the internet. And this is the longest amount of time they would be spending together since they've been together. So it's interesting sort of dynamics. You've got the mother and son with the son who's got ADHD.
I really like that, and the mother's got.
So
diabetes.
I like the relationships and that element of it, but I think maybe the travelogue element of it, where it sort of slowed it down a bit for me. The pace was a little bit uneven. I'm not going to prioritise this, but I could see the merit in it, and I can see sort of why you like it, but I think it just there wasn't enough for me in it. I was sort of drifting towards the end.
I like it because it feels like a reality show that would have been on at the peak of when those shows were massive. It's a competition, it's a race. They only win 20
what do they
grand
win?
at the 20 grand. They sort of get on with one another, that they often, because of where they're heading, they often pass one another, or they sometimes end up together.
I think maybe because you watch it with other people. I don't know if that's,
maybe.
You've got someone to talk about it with after, and it's sort of that shared experience, whereas, I'm watching it on my own on the laptop. That might be the sort of the different experiences of it. I liked it fine, but nothing. I wouldn't say there was anything to shout from the rooftops about for me.
I really liked all the couples. I like the story
Yeah, and
of
I
the guy
did.
who lost his hearing and things.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
I would urge people to give it a go if they've not. A Race Across the World, 8 o'clock Sundays. As far as I know, it's 8 weeks, but I might be wrong. I assumed it was 8. Race Across the World Sundays at 8 on BBC Two.